A lot of people, they ask me after I've performed, they come up to me and they ask, hey, you didn't look nervous at all up there. Wow, how do you do it? Or do you still get nervous? Or do you still get stage fright when you're up on stage? And the answer is yes, I do.
In 2024, whispers surrounding Angelica Hale's personal life have sparked more curiosity than her latest performances. Online gossip forums have lit up with claims that the former America's Got Talent finalist is now dating or even secretly engaged. Some so-called insiders claim a mystery boyfriend has been appearing off camera in her social media posts, while anonymous sources suggest she's trying to keep the romance under wraps. But here's the twist. Despite the online frenzy, no verified source, major outlet, or direct statement from Angelica herself confirms any of these claims. In fact, the evidence is murky at best. So why are these rumors catching fire now? And what is the real story behind Angelica Hale's love life and lifestyle in 2024? To understand the truth, we need to look beyond the headlines and back into the story that made Angelica Hale a household name. Before she ever set foot on the AGT stage, Angelica Hale had already fought for her life. At just 4 years old, she was struck by a rare and aggressive bacterial pneumonia that escalated into septic shock and multiple organ failure, conditions that left her hospitalized for months and placed her in a medically induced coma. Doctors were uncertain she would survive. Her lungs were severely damaged and her kidneys shut down, leaving her dependent on dialysis. The turning point came when her mother donated a kidney to save her life. It wasn't just a medical recovery, it was a miracle. That trauma didn't just test her physically, it defined her emotionally. And when she eventually learned to sing again, it wasn't just about technique. It was about telling a story of survival with every note. That resilience would later become the core of her identity on America's Got Talent. But her journey was only beginning, and what came next would launch her into the national spotlight. Angelica Hale's America's Got Talent debut in 2017 didn't just showcase a powerful voice. It introduced the world to a survivor with unstoppable drive. At only 9 years old, she stunned judges with a rendition of Andra Day's Rise Up, earning a standing ovation and quickly becoming a fan favorite. Judge Chris Hardwick later hit the golden buzzer during her performance of Girl on Fire, sending her straight to the live shows. From there, Angelica's presence exploded across social media, news networks, and fan forums. Though she finished as runner-up, the youngest in AGT history at the time, her journey was far from over. She began releasing music, performing at major charity events, and lending her voice to animated features and TV appearances. Far from a fleeting reality show star, Angelica transitioned into a young professional artist, navigating an industry that often forgets its child prodigies. But what was happening behind the curtain, away from the red carpets and rehearsals, would reveal a very different side to her life. While many expect Angelica Hale to be living a glamorized red carpet lifestyle, her real day-to-day in 2024 paints a much more grounded picture. Now 17, she balances her career ambitions with a deep sense of purpose rooted in her early health struggles. Her social media presence remains polished but personal, offering glimpses into studio sessions, charity events, and family moments rather than flashy displays of luxury or excess. Instead of constant paparazzi headlines, she stays focused on developing her artistry, sharpening her skills, and taking selective roles that align with her values. Angelica continues to use her platform to raise awareness for sepsis and pediatric illnesses, often speaking at medical events or supporting organ donation initiatives. She's not chasing viral fame. She's building something deeper, more enduring. And notably, there's no public sign of a boyfriend in the frame, not on Instagram, not in interviews, and not in her own words. But just when fans think they've figured her out, a wave of rumors resurfaces, and what comes next continues to fuel speculation. Despite the lack of confirmation, online speculation about Angelica Hale's romantic life has reached fever pitch. Some blogs boldly claim she's dating a fellow young artist, while others hint at an off-camera relationship shielded from the spotlight. A few gossip pages even cite photos with unidentified male friends as evidence of something more. But here's the reality. None of these claims are backed by verifiable sources, and no reputable media outlet has confirmed any romantic involvement. Angelica herself has never publicly mentioned having a boyfriend, and in every interview, her focus remains on music, family, and advocacy. In fact, many of the so-called reports trace back to speculative posts or clickbait headlines with no substance. The absence of proof hasn't stopped fans from guessing, but in the world of internet fame, silence often speaks louder than scandal. Whether it's personal choice or career focus, Angelica appears committed to keeping that chapter of her life private, if it even exists at all. But while the rumors swirl, her next moves suggest that romance isn't what's driving her story right now. In 2024, Angelica Hale's energy isn't directed toward romance. It's laser-focused on growth. Her recent updates point to new music in development, potential acting roles, and continued collaborations in both live performance and digital media. At 17, she's transitioning from child star to young adult artist, a delicate but critical phase where many entertainers struggle to maintain relevance. But Angelica appears to be handling it with a calm, calculated strategy, avoiding overexposure, keeping her circle tight, and making career choices that reinforce longevity over hype. She remains active in health-related causes, often showing up as a guest speaker or ambassador for sepsis awareness and pediatric advocacy. Every move signals maturity beyond her years. While many teens are chasing social validation, Angelica is building a brand rooted in resilience and responsibility. Whether it's voice training, songwriting, or stage preparation, her current priorities show that love, at least publicly, isn't on a schedule. But what her story continues to reveal is that fame doesn't have to come at the cost of authenticity. When fans and media obsess over who Angelica Hale might be dating, they often miss the deeper story unfolding behind the scenes. Her life isn't just a teenage fairy tale. It's a journey shaped by trauma, recovery, and a relentless drive to redefine what success looks like for a young artist. Many forget that Angelica didn't just overcome illness. She overcame the emotional aftermath of living in hospitals, surviving near-death experiences, and carrying the weight of public expectation from the age of 9. Her fame was never just about talent, it was about grit. And now, as she grows into adulthood, she's choosing to tell her story on her own terms. That means boundaries. That means focusing on impact, not headlines. And that means letting fans speculate while she quietly builds a legacy. For those waiting for a dramatic romance or a viral relationship reveal, they may be looking in the wrong place. Because Angelica's biggest plot twist might not be about who she's with. It might be about the kind of woman and artist she's becoming. So as the spotlight shifts and the headlines speculate, one truth remains. Angelica Hale is writing her own script, one that doesn't revolve around a boyfriend, a scandal, or a perfectly filtered love story. In 2024, her lifestyle reflects discipline, purpose, and a clarity that's rare for someone her age. She's chosen to prioritize her voice over distractions, to lead with substance over spectacle, and to embrace privacy in a world that demands constant access. Whether or not she's dating is almost irrelevant compared to the power of what she's building. Her journey from hospital bed to global stage, from AGT finalist to teenage role model, proves that fame doesn't have to follow a formula. And for those still waiting for confirmation about her love life, maybe the real story isn't about who Angelica Hale loves, but how deeply she's committed to loving the life she's earned. In a digital age obsessed with who's dating who, Angelica reminds us that sometimes the most inspiring romances are the ones